Good evening. Tonight I'm reading again the article from Father Ron Rolheiser, uh, Henri Nouwen, a saint of our time, again from the Catholic Register. It is not enough today to be merely a saint. We must have saintliness in demanding by all present moments. Simeon Weil wrote that the right we need saints demanded by present moment, and I would like to propose someone who I believe fits in that description. Henri Nouwen, the priest and the popular spiritual writer who died in 1996. What was a saintliness and why it was particularly approached in the terms of present moment. Henri Nouwen is agreeably the most influential spiritual writer in our generation. However, his spirituality was not born out as an easy temperament and untested faith. Michael Higgins writes in his biography of Nouwen, he was genius born of anguish. Nouwen was a saint wrecked with anxiety, an ideal patron for a generation awash with. He was a complex, anxious person with a hypersensitive personality. He was prone to observance, and his intimate relationship occasionally manifested a neediness that was more childish than childlike, and was forever haunted by the sense of dispute and all love, acceptance, and success he expensed. He was not really loved, and no peace was home for him. As well, he nursed a wound inside that could never explain to others or make peace with himself. Coupled with all of these, he had an artistic temperament with both two gifts and burdens, and like many artists had a struggle to remain robust, normal, and balanced in the creative process, enjoy down to the earth sanity and keep of sensuality within bounds of his vows. He could go out of stage, radiant powerful energy, and step off the stage, and within minutes break down in the tears and beg someone to console him. In terms of his sexuality, he was a vowed celibate who remained faithful to his vows. Occasionally, who would feel in love, obviously, with someone, that he was able to keep his vows in sanctity only by checking himself in the clinic for professional help. This isn't the stuff you normally read in the life of saints, at last of those who are officially canonized and held up as a models of sanctity. But that is in fact stuff of saintliness. Soren Kierkegaard, who Nouwen idealized, defined the saint this way. The saint is someone who can will done the thing. Not an easy task, not because the right thing is the hard to will, but because we also will do many other things. Thomas Aquinas affirmed that every choice is reunification. That's understanding. Every choice in the series of renounced that makes both choosing of saintliness is difficult. Writing his diaries, Newman described his struggle in this way. I want to be great saint, but I also want to experience all sensations of the sinner's experience. I want to be drawn into silence of prayer, but I don't want to miss anything happening in the world. I want to bury myself in anonymity, anonymity of among the poor, but I also want to write books, be known by others, see places, meet people, and do interesting things. That's what he is wrestling with, just as we do, but be managed in the end will uh, will be one of the thing. How did we do? How did I might become as despite at all? He did thought in the humble honesty that never denied his struggles. He died by accepting his complexity, by feeling of his needs and praying to helpness with his own strength wasn't enough, by letting the poor love him. And he did it by sharing the wounds with the world, by seeking professional help whenever he broke down, and by learning from all pain, uh, obviously, and hurting that in the end of our hearts and stronger than our wounds. Because of that, we keep our comments and ultimately find a peace inside complexity, temptation, and struggle. The saints of old, no doubt, had their own struggles in trying to will the one thing, the healthy channel with the energies they give themselves over God. However, the stories we hear of the other lives tend to highlight more than virtue their struggle. For example, Mother Teresa is also saint from our own generation and is very inspirational one of that. For many of us, her life and her virtues seem far removed from her own early and massive struggles, that we look as her as a saint we can admire both, not quite to imitate. That's unfair, of course. She also had her struggles, moment once. Still, it is not her struggles that are generally highlighting when her story is told. Henri Nouwen's story and his writings highlight the struggles, not just the virtue and wisdom. Knowing earthness of his struggles can give impression that there is less in him to admire than someone like Mother Teresa, perhaps. But Nouwen we see is someone we can more easily imitate. So he's talking about saints, and Henri Nouwen is a Roman Catholic saint, and it is very interesting that he underlines his sins, not only his virtues, because he was a human, so not idealizing someone who was a saint. May God safeguard you. And for us Orthodox Christians, we have lots to learn from that experience, really influencing our lives. So let us be realistic. Saints lived on this earth and they were like us, only they decide to change by glory of God. Amen.